Hello class 10. Today we'll start a new chapter. Chapter 7, Sound. Sound is a form of energy which causes us to hear something. And this energy travels in the form of waves. Sound is produced when a body vibrates and it reaches us through the vibrations of the particle of surrounding medium. Sound requires a medium for its propagation. Depending upon the density and elasticity of the medium, when these vibrations reach our ear, the sound is heard. Our ears are sensitive only to a limited range of frequencies from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, which is called the audible range of frequency. The sound of frequency above 20,000 Hz is called ultrasonic, while the sound of frequency below 20 Hz is called infrasonic. Both ultrasonic and infrasonic are the inaudible range to human beings, but they both travel in the medium with the speed same as that of the audible range. Now we will discuss some terms related to the wave motion, and we'll start with amplitude. Amplitude denoted as small a and its unit is meter. When a wave passes through a medium, the maximum displacement of the particle of the medium on either sides of its mean position is called the amplitude of the wave. It is denoted, suppose this is the mean position, so this is the maximum displacement on the upper side and the maximum displacement on downward direction. So the maximum displacement on either sides is the amplitude denoted as small a, its unit is meter m. Now the next term, frequency. The number of vibrations made by a particle of medium in 1 second is called its frequency of the wave. It is the same as the number of waves passing through a point in 1 second, denoted as f, and its unit is S inverse, second inverse or hertz. Now the next term, time period. The time taken by a particle of a medium to complete its one vibration is called the time period of the wave. It is denoted as capital T and its unit is S second. Now the next term, that is wavelength and wave velocity, also we will discuss. Wavelength, the distance traveled by the wave in one time period of the vibrations of the particle of the medium is called wavelength, denoted as lambda. Its unit is meter and it depends upon the medium in which the wave travels. Wave velocity denoted as v, and it is the distance traveled by the wave in 1 second is called its wave velocity or wave speed. The speed of sound generally we take as 340 meter per second. In some of the numericals it is 350 also. According to that we will solve. Now the wave, sound travels in waves. We know that there are two types of waves, longitudinal waves and transverse waves. This in detail we'll discuss in the next video. Today we'll discuss the relationship between speed, frequency and wavelength. Speed, that means wave velocity. Frequency. Now the relation between time period and frequency is time period is equal to 1 by f or frequency is equal to 1 by t. We also know that wave velocity and wavelength relation, that is v is equal to wave velocity is equal to lambda into frequency, and we will solve few numericals on this. Now we will solve numericals of exercise 7a, and we'll start with the first numerical. In first numerical, the wavelength of the wave produced on the surface of water is 20 centimeter. So wavelength given as 20 centimeter, we convert it to meter. Next, if the wave velocity is 24 meter per second, wave velocity denoted as v given 24 meter per second. Calculate the number of waves produced in 1 second, that means frequency we have to calculate, and the time in which one wave is produced. So time also we have to calculate. So very first we calculate the frequency. For that we know the formula, relation between wave velocity lambda and frequency. V is equal to f into lambda. Here we have to calculate f. So it will be V by lambda. V 24 meter per second given and lambda 20 centimeter converted to meter. When you simplify, you will get your frequency as 120 second inverse. Second inverse is the unit, or you can also write hertz. Now we have to calculate time period. For time period we know that time period is equal to 1 by frequency. So 1 by 120. So it is, when we simplify, we get our answer as 8.3 into 10 to the power minus 3 second. So this is how we can solve the first numerical. Now moving on to the numerical number 2. Next question. Calculate the minimum distance in air required between the source of sound and the obstacle to hear an echo. Take the speed of the sound in air as 350 meter per second. Here we know that V is equal to, given in the book, 350 meter per second. Time given 0.1 second. We know that V is equal to distance traveled by time taken. So D we have to calculate. V into T by 2. So distance is equal to 350 into time is 0.1 and by 2. When we simplify, we get our answer as 17.5 meter. Here is a term called echo, and echo we'll discuss now. So echo is the second sound heard after reflection of the first sound. So if a person stands at some distance from a wall and produces a sharp sound, he hears two distinct sounds: the original sound, which is heard almost instantaneously, and the sound heard after reflection from the wall, which is heard a little later than the original sound is produced. So the reflected sound is called echo. The sound waves is reflected back from the surface after hitting the wall or whatever the obstacle is called an echo. The sound heard after reflection from a distant obstacle after original sound has ceased is called an echo. Conditions for hearing an echo: there are few conditions. That an echo is heard only if the distance of the person producing sound from the rigid obstacle is long enough to allow the reflected sound to reach the person at least 0.1 second after the original sound is heard. The reason is, the condition is, it is heard only after 0.1 second. The reason is that the sensation of a sound persists in our ear for about 0.1 second after the exciting stimulus ceases to act. Hence, to hear an echo distinctly, it must reach the ear at least 0.1 seconds after the original sound. So we can calculate it with the formula speed of the sound. We know that velocity is equal to distance traveled by the total time. Here we denote V is the speed of the sound. Speed of the sound is 340 meter per second. Distance we have to calculate, and here distance is twice 2d, because once the sound is going and again returning back, hence the echo is traveling the distance 2d. Twice it is traveling the distance. So distance here will be 2d and time 0.1 second. So if we substitute in the formula V is equal to 2d by t, we can get the minimum distance in 0.1 second, and that is 17 meter. Thus, to hear an echo distinctly, the reflecting surface in air should be at a minimum distance of 17 meter from the listener. If the distance is less than 17 meter, the reflected sound will reach the ear before the original sound dies out, and so no echo will be heard.